Welcome to Dog Facts Funny. In today's episode, we take a calm and thoughtful look at something every dog owner experiences sooner or later, leaving a dog alone at home. While this moment may feel routine or even insignificant to us, for dogs it often carries emotional meaning shaped by habit, environment, and trust. This episode is not about rules or strict training advice. It is about awareness, observation, and understanding what dogs quietly experience when the house becomes empty. Modern life often requires us to step away from home, sometimes for hours at a time. Dogs adapt to this reality, but adaptation does not mean indifference. The way we prepare to leave, the atmosphere we leave behind, and the emotional signals we send all influence how dogs interpret our absence. This episode invites you to slow down and look at those moments from a dog's point of view. How dogs experience being alone. Dogs are social animals by nature. Their instincts are shaped by connection, shared spaces, and predictable patterns. For thousands of years, safety depended on staying close to the group and reading subtle environmental cues. When dogs are left alone today, those instincts remain active, even in the comfort of a modern home. Some dogs naturally settle, sleep, and rest while alone. Others remain alert, listening for sounds or pacing the house. These reactions are not signs of disobedience or weakness. They are responses shaped by experience, routine, and emotional expectations. Dogs experience time differently than humans, and without clear signals of safety and structure, solitude can feel uncertain rather than calm. Mental balance during absence. Mental stimulation plays a central role in how dogs cope with being alone. While physical exercise helps release energy, mental engagement is what truly supports emotional regulation. A dog whose mind is gently occupied has less space for stress to grow. Familiar toys, scent-based activities, or simple problem-solving tasks give dogs something meaningful to focus on. These activities are not distractions in the negative sense. They are anchors that guide attention and provide a sense of purpose during quiet hours. Without mental engagement, boredom can slowly transform into restlessness, vocalization, or destructive behavior, not out of mischief, but as an attempt to self-soothe. The power of routine and predictability. Routine creates emotional safety. Dogs rely heavily on patterns to understand the flow of their day. Feeding times, walks, rest periods, and even the sequence of actions before a person leaves become familiar signals that help dogs anticipate what comes next. When routines change suddenly, dogs may feel unsettled or confused, even if their physical needs are still being met. Predictability does not mean rigidity, but it does mean consistency. A reliable rhythm allows dogs to relax into the day, knowing that absence is part of a pattern rather than an unexpected disruption. Creating a calm environment. The environment continues to communicate even when humans are gone. A completely silent or dark home can feel unnatural to dogs who are used to everyday sounds and light. For some, this stillness amplifies awareness rather than encouraging rest. Soft background audio, gentle daylight, and access to familiar resting areas help maintain a sense of continuity. These elements quietly signal that the home is still safe and unchanged. The goal is not stimulation, but reassurance. When the environment feels steady, dogs are more likely to settle rather than remain alert. Structure through food and timing. Food is more than nourishment for dogs. It is part of how they understand structure and time. When food is provided without rhythm or anticipation, long stretches of the day can feel undefined. Thoughtful timing creates gentle markers throughout the day. These moments break time into understandable segments and give dogs something predictable to look forward to. Structure reduces restlessness and helps dogs feel oriented, even when no one is home. Food routines also carry emotional meaning. For many dogs, mealtimes are moments of reassurance that confirm the day is unfolding as expected. When food appears at familiar times or in familiar ways, it reinforces a sense of continuity and safety. This quiet confirmation helps dogs remain grounded during long periods alone, allowing them to rest rather than remain alert, waiting for signs that something has changed. When we step back and look at all these moments together, a clear pattern appears. Dogs are not asking for constant attention, perfection, or control. What they seek is clarity. They want to understand what is happening, what will happen next, and whether their world remains safe and familiar even when we are not present. Time alone becomes difficult for dogs not because of absence itself, but because of uncertainty. When routines are inconsistent, environments feel empty, or emotional signals are confusing, dogs are left to fill the gaps with their own interpretations. Some wait quietly, others worry. Neither response is wrong. Both are attempts to cope. What makes the difference is not a single toy, sound, or habit, but the overall message we leave behind. A message that says the day has structure, the space is safe, and the bond is stable. Mental engagement gives the mind a place to rest. Routine gives time a shape. Comfort allows the body to settle. Calm departures teach trust without words. Over time, these small choices shape how dogs experience solitude, not as something to endure, but as a familiar pause in the rhythm of the day, a space where rest is possible and waiting does not mean fear. In that quiet understanding, independence begins to grow naturally, without pressure or force. With time, dogs begin to recognize that being alone does not change the bond they share with their human. Absence no longer feels like a disruption, but like a familiar part of the day that eventually leads to reunion. This understanding does not come from training commands or correction, but from repeated experiences of safety and consistency. When dogs learn that nothing bad follows silence, stillness, or waiting, they stop watching the door and start resting instead. In that quiet shift, trust becomes visible, even when no one is watching. Calm departures build confidence. Dogs learn how to feel about being alone largely through the way humans leave. Emotional, prolonged, or dramatic goodbyes often communicate uncertainty rather than reassurance. Dogs read tone, body language, and energy far more than words. Calm, neutral departures send a different message. They teach dogs that leaving is normal and temporary. Over time, this consistency builds confidence and independence. Solitude becomes familiar rather than alarming, and trust replaces tension. Leaving a dog alone does not have to be a source of anxiety for either side. With mental engagement, physical comfort, and emotional consistency, solitude becomes a natural part of a dog's routine rather than a disruption. When dogs feel safe in their environment and secure in their bond, time alone turns into rest instead of waiting. And when you return, the greeting you receive reflects more than excitement. It reflects trust, a quiet confidence that your dog learned, over time, that absence does not mean abandonment. More dog facts and calm insights here. Explore our channel for gentle observations, behavioral understanding, and thoughtful perspectives on life with dogs.